All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final section in Topic 8, and it looks at multiplication as scaling and kind of estimating products. And so what we mean by that is that when we multiply, we typically think of products as getting bigger, right? You take two whole numbers and you multiply them together, and your answer is going to get bigger. Well, when we include fractions and mixed numbers, sometimes our product gets bigger, and sometimes our product gets smaller. And so we can kind of use this idea here of estimating to figure out whether it's going to get larger or smaller. So that's what we're talking about. So first and foremost, think of multiplication as scaling or resizing. And so, right, if you want to highlight these things in different colors, I would make scaling and getting bigger one, and then resizing and shrinking as a second color. That's sort of how I think. Like you're scaling gets bigger, resizing gets smaller. So the first thing we're going to talk about here, right, is that if we are multiplying a mixed number and something that is bigger than 1, right, our answer is going to get bigger. Right? So when we take a number like 2.5 and we multiply it by 5, our answer is going to be bigger than 5. And what I mean by that is that if we take 5 students and each of them gives out $2.50, are you going to have more or less than $5? Hopefully everybody shouted out more, because when you start everybody's giving more money, our pile of money is going to get bigger. Our second example here, right, is if we take a fraction that is less than 1 and multiply it by a whole number, that our answer is going to get smaller. So again, if 5 students each give out 75 cents, are we going to have more or less than $5? And the answer here would be less, because each student isn't even giving a whole dollar. Right? We know that 5 times 1 would be 5, and we're taking 5 groups of less than 1. So if you multiply a fraction that's less than 1, your product is going to get smaller. And then finally, what happens if you multiply by a fraction that's equal to 1? We know that anything times 1 keeps the same value. That's the identity property. Good job, right? So anything that's multiplied by a fraction equal to 1 will have a value that's equal to the starting number. So let's try some. I think we'll do one together, and then I'm going to let you guys try the rest on your own. Right? So here we have 3.5 times 3 1/3. Notice that both of my numbers are bigger than 1, so it's going to get bigger. Use your notes, see if you can figure out the rest of them. All right, check your answers, and I'll point out a couple of things. On both of the ones that have equal signs in there as the answer, you'll notice that we are multiplying a mixed number by a fraction that is equal to 1 whole. And anytime you multiply something that is equal to 1 whole, your answer is going to remain the same. That is the identity property. In the other 3, you'll notice that all of them are less than, and that's because the number that is different, the number that I am circling in each of those examples, is less than 1. So maybe you're asking yourself, well, why? Why is number 1 greater than? And that would be because the number that's different is greater than 1, and so our answer was greater. This marks the end of Topic 8. You should be prepared to take a test on this. Your next steps here would be to complete the any online practice buddies you haven't completed. Okay? So complete any online practice buddies you haven't completed. And then continue to practice with IXL. Thanks so much. Have a great day.